This episode of Android Q&A is brought to you by Full Sail University. So Xiaomi's received a lot of positive press lately, and it's well-deserved. Sleek design, decent prices, and better yet, soon they're going to start selling directly to consumers. At least here in the West, you'll be able to buy the phones online and sidestep the carrier. But what could halt Xiaomi's rise to glory? Let's talk about that. All right, let's get this out of the way first. It's pronounced Xiaomi. How do I know? Give an ear.
I'm Hugo Barra, VP of Xiaomi Global.
My name is Binin. I'm co-founder and president of Xiaomi.
The meteoric rise of Xiaomi has been generating plenty of headlines lately. According to IDC, Xiaomi's dominated the Chinese smartphone market in the last 6 months of 2014, beating heavyweights like Apple and Samsung, as well as compatriots like Huawei and Lenovo. For a company that released its first smartphone in 2011, sales of more than 60 million smartphones and a valuation of $45 billion by the end of 2015 can hardly fail to impress. Now, Xiaomi's number one possible pitfall is gotta be Apple's lawyers. Part of Xiaomi's rise in China can be explained by its early strategy of simply copying Apple. If you can get past the similar aesthetic, there are some very obvious differences between them. Xiaomi clearly has a different attitude towards design, customization, and many other facets of its mobile device business, but it has shamelessly aped Apple when it comes to marketing. As Business Insider pointed out, the CEO certainly seemed to be inspired by Jobs with his onstage presentations and, quote, "one more thing" slide. But the company has also closely emulated Apple's marketing. It doesn't just copy Apple, it also uses copyrighted photos in its marketing. Oh, this is gonna get good. Now, it gets away with this in China, but it won't get away with it in countries with stronger IP laws. If Apple could win in court against Samsung, then Xiaomi has very little chance. Microsoft and other Android OEMs also won't hesitate to have a go if they see an opportunity. Now, the second possible pitfall is all this new marketing in the West could get lost in translation. Realistically, Xiaomi will have to completely reimagine its marketing approach here in the West. It has relied on close relationships with its fan base, and more than 100 million users enjoy weekly updates to a custom ROM. It has made a huge deal out of listening to its customers and giving them what they want. Can it replicate this success outside of China? Xiaomi recently boasted about 40 million active forum users and 500,000 new posts on a good day. The fans drive the design, the excitement, and the hype word-of-mouth recommendations on social networking sites. Flash sales with limited stock reduce risk and generate more marketing buzz. Now, in my mind personally, this is the biggest possible pitfall for Xiaomi. There is a big cultural chasm that they have to cross to market successfully here in the West. And it's not just Chinese companies. Western companies have tried to go into China and had the same problem. They just can't market their idea effectively because there's such a different cultural shift. As someone who married into a totally different culture, I can tell you, even after, 16 years, in many ways, we're still like this. It's hard to meet halfway and communicate in a way that both sides appreciate and value. It'll be interesting to see how Xiaomi does it. Now, some of you may be thinking, hey, Jayce, what are you talking about? We got Sony, Samsung, HTC, LG, all these Asian companies that have done fantastic jobs in marketing the West. Look at Honda and Toyota. They're extremely popular here. They're the most popular cars here than even our domestic cars. Yes, but they've had decades to do that. Many decades. And most of their marketing teams are Western. So they've had the time to do that. Has Xiaomi had the time to do that? They did hire Hugo Barra, who is an executive at Google. That was a fantastic thing, but they need to do a lot more of that to make this cultural connection. Now let's talk about the next pitfall, which is also possibly the greatest opportunity, and that's selling their devices online only. Xiaomi sells devices directly to consumers online. It's a model that's accepted in many markets, but the US and much of Europe is still dominated by carriers and long-term contract deals. It can be very tough for OEMs to strike deals with carriers. If you want shelf space, then they want a cut. They want design input. They want to put bloatware on the phone. Now, even Mother Google has had limited success selling its Nexus devices online. Even though the device itself is very successful, the amount of sales that they've got online is still relatively small, a smaller piece of the pie. So if Xiaomi was to be successful selling things online like this at scale, they would be the first ones to do it. Now let's talk about those wafer-thin profits. The lower cost of Xiaomi devices is an obvious attraction for many consumers, but will Western markets buy into the accessories and app ecosystem? They may ship with Xiaomi apps in China, but worldwide Xiaomi is a Google partner, and its Android devices carry Google's apps and the Play Store. Can it hope to turn a profit without these additional income streams? Now, the last pitfall is an ironic one because it's copycat competition. Ironically, given the criticism often leveled at Xiaomi, one of the biggest risks could be the competition copying it. Huawei has already emulated the online-only approach with the Honor line. Other than a head start in China, what does Xiaomi have that other OEMs don't in terms of strategy? Given that it would be starting from scratch in the US, how is it going to differentiate itself? So what do you guys think? What is Xiaomi's secret to success here in the West? Love to hear it in the comments below. Now, I know some of you out there are some pretty hardcore geeks, and if you are hardcore and you love this stuff that much, you may want to consider a career in tech. With smartphone users accounting for almost 2 billion people around the globe, it is a huge opportunity to optimize content and experiences for mobile consumption. Mobile is where it's at, and Full Sail University's online and on-campus mobile development bachelor's degree program can teach you the skills you need to take advantage of these emerging opportunities. You'll learn specific technology used in creating and distributing apps so that you can conceive, develop, deploy, and market an application from start to finish. Full Sail also offers online mobile gaming master's degree program, allowing you to expand your programming skills while you learn how to improve the mobile gaming experience. Through Full Sail's Project Lunchbox program, students receive a MacBook Pro, industry software, plus iOS and Android devices. If you're ready to master technology and software and compete in this rapidly growing industry, visit fullsail.edu/authority to learn more about these degree programs. Thanks for watching Android Army. My name is Jayce. Love to connect with you right here on Google Plus or Twitter. I read all of them and respond to as many as I can. You don't want to forget about my brothers, my brethren in Android. Now, last week I was talking about Ash's The History of Nexus, written with one of our Android Authority staff. I will link it up there. It's right there right now because it's live. When I talked about it before, it wasn't live. I thought it was supposed to be, but it didn't go up yet. And you don't want to forget about the rest of my brothers over there. I shall see you tomorrow for another Q&A. See you then.